Okay, hey, Khee here, Locke's authorized info dumpster. And today we're diving into a place so grimy, so violent, so charmingly murderous that even the rats carry firearms. Welcome to Necromunda. It's a planet of endless hive cities stacked like an overachieving Jenga tower of crime, decay, and bad life choices. Think of it like a buffet of gangs, sludge, and regret, served piping hot with a side of ash. Now, Locke says this place is rich with narrative potential and a reflection of humanity's survival instinct. I say it's a post-apocalyptic toilet where the flush never worked. Expect backstabbing, gunfights, mutant rats the size of motorcycles, and gangs with more attitude than brain cells. So basically, my family reunion. So go on, put on your gas mask, load your autogun, and remember, in Necromunda, it's not about living your best life, it's about living it all. Let's get started before someone tries to rob me for scrap metal. Let's begin with a nice, sensible overview, straight from Locke's very official scroll titled Necromunda, a hive world of strategic importance. Translation: it's a hot, smog-choked mess where everything wants to kill you, but it makes really good guns, so the Imperium pretends it's fine. Necromunda is a hive world located in the Segmentum Solar and serves as a major producer of munitions for the Imperial Guard. Its forges churn out laser guns, autoguns, shotguns, and bolt guns, among other fine instruments of interpersonal misunderstanding. So basically, it's like a weapon-themed Costco that also hates you. The planet also levies enormous numbers of troops, most famously the Necromundan spiders, and provides additional vital supplies to the Imperium. Necromunda has been ruled by House Helmar for over 7,000 years. Yes, the same noble house, still in power, still totally not corrupt or tyrannical at all. 7,000 years of family drama, power hoarding, and industrial soot. Sounds super well-adjusted. Like many hive worlds, Necromunda's cities are infested with powerful gangs, each fighting for control, survival, or just because Tuesday was boring. The streets are ruled by fashion-forward murder hobos with spray-painted weapons and questionable hygiene. Just your average Tuesday in the Underhive. And that's just the surface. Wait till we get to the part with cannibal cults, corpse starch, and stims. Locke says it's an ecosystem of survivalism. I say it's a good time. Stick around because things are only going to get better from here. History lesson time. Pre-Imperium. Long ago, it is believed the Piscean Xenos were the first known inhabitants of Necromunda, back when the world was covered in vast oceans. Cunning and hostile, they resisted humanity's arrival with brutal force. Ancient fish people trying to keep their pool party exclusive. Cute. According to the legends of House de Locke, the Pisceans vanished just before the Industrial Age began. Some believe they still dwell deep below the surface, hiding in the subterranean oceans near the planet's core. Okay, but how do I get a ticket down there? I bet the nightlife is damp and terrifying. Locke wants me to pronounce it Dela-Q, but there's no way I'm doing that. Colonization. Necromunda was established approximately 15,000 years ago as a mining and manufacturing colony. It served as the capital of the Arrhenius Continuity, a techno-noble human empire that later submitted peacefully to the Imperium during the Great Crusade. Wow, peaceful submission in the Imperium? I don't believe that for a second. Someone got vaped off screen, I'm just saying. Great Crusade and Horus Heresy. The planet was ravaged by unknown Xenos forces using warp gates, sparing only the capital city of Arrhenius Prime, which would eventually be renamed Necromunda. Rebranding, nothing says trauma cleanup, like a name change and fresh signage. Later, during M30, the Imperial Fists under Rogel Dorn liberated the world from Orc forces, cementing the planet's close ties with the chapter. This event is still celebrated each year as a planetary holiday known as Imperial Fistmas. Please tell me there are ornaments shaped like power fists, and a servo skull dressed as a cherub. Please. I asked Locke how they celebrate Fistmas, and he said he'd tell me when I'm older. Boring. Alternate records suggest the planet's devastation may have been caused not by orcs, but by resistance from its own human colonists during the coming of the Imperium. Whatever the cause, the resulting devastation created the ash wastes and gave rise to the hive cities. And then they paved over their mistakes with 1,000 years of toxic industry. Classic. During the Horus Heresy, Necromunda was again devastated. The Ironhead squats played a vital role in rebuilding the planet afterward. Shout out to the squats, short kings, long legacies. Recent history. Despite millennia of war and upheaval, Necromunda remains a planetary hub of mining, manufacturing, and processing. Its economy powers multiple systems, with goods ranging from weapons to refined materials. If it can be melted, forged, or weaponized, it's probably made here, or stolen here, or stolen, then melted, then weaponized. Following the opening of the Great Rift during the 13th Black Crusade, Necromunda erupted into rebellion. However, the uprising quickly subsided when word spread that Lord Commander Robert Guilliman's Indomitus Crusade was en route to restore order. Which is a polite way of saying, everyone collectively remembered how sharp his sword is. I'd build a summer home here if the air didn't strip flesh from bone. Or maybe because it does. Right then, today's scenic featurette is brought to you by Locke's latest scroll, Geographical Overview of Necromunda. And I just want to say, in my humble opinion, 10 out of 10. No notes. Stunning. Absolutely vile. Let's take a little orbital view, shall we? From space, Necromunda looks like a smoggy gumball of misery. On the surface, it's nothing but wind-blown ash, industrial waste, and the occasional scream. Beautiful. Surface. Necromunda is a planet entirely devoid of its original environment. The surface has been reduced to a wasteland composed of wind-blown ash and centuries of accumulated industrial waste. Hive cities rise from these wastes in clusters of up to a dozen hives, connected by a system of overground travel tubes and subterranean tunnels. It's like a network of sewage pipes, but for people and ambition. Ash wastes. The wastelands that separate hive clusters are made up of abrasive, highly corrosive ash. In some areas, hives are separated by 50 to 100 miles of waste. In others, thousands of miles stretch between them. The ash itself forms massive dunes and shifting hills, capable of burying roads and transport tubes entirely, and sometimes even eroding the foundations of hive structures during dust storms. So it's quicksand, but meaner. Love that for them. The ash is composed of finely powdered plastics, metallic oxides, and inorganic chemicals that take millennia to degrade. It comes in a wide range of colors, including sulfur yellow, citric green, cobalt blue, mauve, and various shades of gray. Looks like someone spilled a painter's palette and then nuked it. Can't wait to vacation here. Weather. Necromunda's atmosphere is choked with pollution. A thick cloud layer hangs over the surface, from which the hive's spires emerge like islands from a toxic sea. In calm periods, remnants of what was once a summer season, chemical pollutants rise to the surface, forming slick lakes and blind rivers. These waters meander and vanish into sinkholes, re-emerging elsewhere. Dust ecologists believe ash currents may mimic oceanic tides. Fun fact, if you fall in, you either dissolve, suffocate, or vanish forever. But hey, the colors are neat. Toxic rainstorms are common. Mists rise with the heat of the sun and are invariably followed by corrosive precipitation. These storms carry fine ash and pollutants that poison organic life and corrode equipment. So if you don't melt, you rust. Real efficient setup. Ash storms. Ash storms are the most dangerous natural threat in the wastes. A moderate storm can strip flesh from bone in seconds. A strong one can destroy entire hive structures. Ruined spires have been uncovered after such events, only to be buried again shortly after. Imagine being so committed to decay that your whole city plays hide and seek with the dirt. Subsurface and resources. Beneath the ash lie the remnants of lost infrastructure, collapsed spires, convoys, aircraft, and even raw materials exposed by ash shifts. In rare cases, valuable veins of oxides and chemicals are found due to natural sorting of the ash by the wind. Treasure hunting, but the treasure wants you dead. Better odds than most jobs I've had. Sludge seas. The sludge seas are all that remain of Necromunda's ancient oceans. Choked with ash, polluted with chemicals, and poisoned by heavy metals, they range in consistency from thin, toxic soup to a hardened crust. Flyers and hovercraft are required to cross them, as conventional ships are ineffective. So, no canoeing. Got it. Some hives have been constructed on pylons driven into the sludge seabed. Others float, anchored in place. There have been recorded incidents of floating hives breaking free during storms and sinking beneath the surface. Survivors are extremely rare. Forbidden cities. Deep beneath the ash wastes are abandoned military tunnels that once connected hive cities for strategic movement. These tunnels included depots and bunkers stocked with synthetic food and materials. Over time, many of these locations were sealed, lost, or repurposed. After the discovery of rare psyker drugs within these zones, they have been re-inhabited in secret. These hidden cities are now referred to as the Forbidden Cities. It's like if a drug den and a Cold War bunker had a baby and forgot to raise it. Hive cities. Necromunda is home to several thousand hive cities. These range from vast population centers to ruins inhabited only by the dead. Each hive consists of numerous spires arranged in a rough circular base, often 50 to 100 miles in diameter. The tallest spires reach several miles above the surface, piercing the cloud layer. The tops of the hives house functioning factories and habitation zones. Older layers below may be abandoned, partially collapsed, or so polluted as to be uninhabitable. Most hives are never truly deserted until they are completely unusable, even by local standards. Which, considering those standards are technically still breathing, is saying something. The spire's funnel shape strengthens their resistance to ash storms. However, many are still buried halfway in dust, their foundations stabilized only by the fresh waste being dumped from above. It's recycling, sort of shanty towns. Around the outer edges of the hive spires are shanty towns. These are inhabited by those unable or unwilling to survive within the hives. Conditions in the shanties are worse than in the hive itself, but offer shelter from the most extreme environmental threats. It's like camping. If the forest was ash, the tent was broken, and everyone around you wanted your boots. Underground hive layers. Beneath the hives and wastelands is a labyrinth of tunnels, ruined structures, and ancient service zones. These include disused factories, sewer systems, ventilation shafts, and derelict industrial infrastructure. Many of these areas remain populated by scavengers, mutants, and worse. Worse, you say? Finally, my kind of neighborhood. Clusters. Each hive spire has a local name, and clusters of hives are common. A cluster may contain up to a dozen hive cities, all linked by underground passages or suspended travel tubes. Roughly 1,000 hive clusters exist across Necromunda. That's a lot of urban decay. Locke calls it tragic. I call it character. Right, this next part is Locke's overview on Necromundan society, which is a polite way of saying how to organize an entire civilization around knife fights and finger math. Structure. Necromunda functions under a feudal system typical of most hive worlds. Due to the impracticality of central administration and the sheer number of undocumented inhabitants, society organizes itself through personal loyalty. Individuals swear allegiance to more powerful members of their family, who in turn pledge loyalty to stronger leaders above them. So it's like a pyramid scheme, but the rewards are bullets and mild respect. This structure is self-regulating. Weaker clans seek protection from stronger ones until they hit resource limits. Rival clans often clash, and combat becomes the primary means of influence. As such, constant gang warfare is a fundamental aspect of life on Necromunda. And by fundamental, we mean celebrated. Nothing says family bonding like an ambush in a ventilation shaft. Gangs. The term gang is used broadly on Necromunda to refer to a wide variety of armed bands. These include clan warriors, ash nomads, mutants, scavies, tech gangs, psyker bands, noble brat gangs, bounty hunters, sanctioned militias, and enforcers. If you've got weapons, attitude, and questionable hygiene, congratulations. You're a gang now. Every clan supports gangs of fighters who defend territory and expand their influence. These gangs range from small squads guarding single corridors to private armies controlling entire hive spires. The largest gang on the planet is the retinue of House Helmar. Typical gangs number around a dozen fighters, which is ideal for skirmishes in the dense corridors and tunnels of the hive. Large groups attract too much attention and are easier to track. Gangs rely on stealth, ambushes, and dark corners to survive. So if you're loud and obnoxious, you die, just like goblin dating. Successful gangs elevate their members into leadership positions. The most successful gang leaders often become heads of major families or rise into clan governance, which means your political resume can literally say, excelled at stabbing my way through adolescence. Initiation and scragging. All gangs impose initiation rites. In the upper hive layers, wealth or social status may be sufficient. In the lower levels, recruits often prove themselves in combat against other initiates or existing gang members. Join the gang, get punched in the face. It's basically a sign-up bonus. Most gangs require trophy taking to prove a new member's worth. This typically involves cutting a finger, ear, or scalp from a fallen foe. Attempting to take a trophy from a living enemy is considered more prestigious but also reckless. It's called scragging, which sounds adorable until someone hands you a bucket of ears. Clans and population. A single clan in a single hive spire may have hundreds of gangs. There are thousands of clans on Necromunda, in addition to unaffiliated gangs and independent operators. So if you ever feel lonely on Necromunda, don't worry, there's always someone nearby who wants to shoot you. Great houses. The great clan houses of Necromunda include House Caudor, House Escher, House Delacue, there I did it, Happy, House Goliath, House Orlok, House Vansar, House Aranthus, Valen. Don't worry, we'll get to these charming dysfunctionals in detail soon. Spoiler, they all need therapy. Symbolism and rituals. The spider and its web are powerful symbols on Necromunda, representing control, fate, and interconnected survival. Also murder. Don't forget the murder. Caryatids, small winged creatures that dwell in the vents, are considered good luck. They tend to attach themselves to powerful or charismatic individuals, marking them for success. Great! Flying goblin babies crawling through your ductwork. Totally not unsettling. A common ritual for atonement is for a failed individual to sever one of their own fingers, or in rare cases, an ear, and present it to a superior as a gesture of renewed loyalty. Necromunda, where saying, "I'm sorry," involves blood loss. Fighters often greet each other by holding up their hands, palms outward with fingers spread. This gesture shows they still have all their digits, meaning they've never failed and are to be feared. So, if someone waves at you and they're missing fingers, it's either a warning or a confession. So that's society on Necromunda. Feudal loyalty, gangs as government, and social advancement through elaborate fistfights and finger math. Locke says it's a fascinating case study in decentralized social regulation. I say it's awesome. If your resume doesn't include cut off some guy's nuts to get promoted, are you even trying? Up next, guess what? We meet the great houses. Get ready for fashion, firepower, and family trauma. House Caudor. House Caudor is a deeply religious house, fanatically devoted to the cult of the redemption. Their society is structured around strict theological doctrine and ritual purity. They are known for wearing masks at all times and burning heretics whenever possible, often without checking if they're actually heretics. So it's a flaming garbage pile powered by guilt, plague masks, and righteous fire. You know, adorable. House Escher. House Escher is a matriarchal house dominated entirely by women. Known for their advanced chemical mastery, gene splicing, and deadly agility, they are both glamorous and lethal. Their society is structured around sisterhoods and laboratories. Gorgeous, terrifying, and definitely able to kill you with a kiss or a syringe. Probably both. 10 out of 10, no notes. House Delacue. House Delacue is a secretive, information-driven house. Its members are pale, bald, and heavily augmented. They deal in espionage, sabotage, and subterfuge. Their motives are inscrutable, and their eyes are usually hidden behind reflective lenses. If you've ever wondered what would happen if a trench coat learned to whisper secrets, it's these guys. They probably know your favorite childhood memory and how you'll die. House Goliath. House Goliath emphasizes brute strength, genetic enhancement, and physical dominance. Their society is structured around trials of strength, and their members are massive, heavily muscled warriors. Many wear heavy armor and wield oversized weapons. Big, loud, sweaty. Their solution to everything is more metal and more screaming. Honestly, they're like walking gym injuries with mohawks. House Orlok. House Orlok is the so-called House of Iron. They control key roadways and trade routes, especially those related to mining and transit. Their society is structured like a loose confederation of industrial families. Orlok gangs are known for their grit, reliability, and access to a wide range of firearms. If Necromunda had truckers, it'd be these guys. Grease-stained, gun-happy, and allergic to subtlety. Still probably the most normal of the bunch, which is terrifying. House Van Saar. House Van Saar is known for its mastery of technology, especially high-end and ancient tech. They are brilliant but heavily reliant on advanced life support systems, as the technology that sustains them also slowly kills them with radiation. Their gear is sleek, precise, and often experimental. Smart, shiny, and dangerously radioactive. They'd be cool if half of them didn't glow in the dark and wheeze like broken toasters. House Aranthus Fallen. House Aranthus was once among the great houses but has since fallen. Their legacy lingers in ruins, rogue elements, and whispered rumors of heresy and dark pacts. They remain a cautionary tale about power, corruption, and the price of ambition. So, former nobles, now probably cultists. Think haunted house meets tragic family drama. I'd love to visit. The Van Saar are definitely Locke's favorites, and I'm not surprised. A bunch of pale techie nerds that have never touched grass. Yeah, sounds like Locke, all right. Me? I'm an Escher gal. They kick ass and look good doing it. And bonus, if I wore some of their heels, I might actually make it to 5 feet tall. So there you have it, the dysfunctional extended family of Necromunda. You've got religious pyros, mutant beefcakes, spy nerds, cyber witches, radioactive tech snobs, punchy trucker unions, and one house that fell off the radar because it probably made a deal with a warp demon. Locke says they represent the balance of power within the hive. I say they represent a highly entertaining dumpster fire with great aesthetics. And that, dear listener, brings us to the end of today's descent into the delightfully deranged world of Necromunda. Ash storms, sludge seas, crime families, radioactive tech nerds. It's a wonder the place hasn't exploded yet. Locke tells me that his archives are full of scrolls like this. Hundreds, probably thousands of pages of notes about the many realms and horrors and gloriously unregulated murder cult societies of the Warhammer worlds. And while I would love to dump it all on you at once, Locke insists on structure and clarity and not giving our viewers an aneurysm. So, we'll be breaking this up into digestible chunks. You're welcome. We'll be coming back to Necromunda later to dig into the individual houses, the gangs, the hive subcultures, and probably a few more stories Locke is still fact-checking, whatever that means. So stick around, and next time we'll poke at another corner of this wonderfully grim little galaxy. And maybe, just maybe, Locke will let me read the scroll about that one planet with the psychic bears and the exploding soup. Until then, this has been Khee, your annotated informant, officially signing off. God bless, and may your ductwork be free of caryatids.